Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, a lot of people are going off on Rachel Zegler for a lot of her disdain for the original Snow White. And while she does deserve every bit of the outrage against her, she is not alone in this. You should also blame the writers for that movie, or for this movie coming out. You should also blame the directors and whatnot, who agreed that this movie should be made in this fashion. But also, you should be, well, outraged at Gal Gadot. As good as an actor as she is, as humble as she comes across as, which is not much anymore, she is also just as much to blame as Rachel Zegler here. So there is a minute 43 video that I want you all to watch, and you will see my point on Gal Gadot because she is also in this video.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird.
If you watch the original Snow White film, you see that she actually reciprocates the advances of the prince, or of the prince. So it's not that weird.
So we didn't do that this time. Cast a guy in the movie, Andrew Burnap, great dude. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut, who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. If I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online. I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again. So I watched it for the first time.
Why was this woman ever cast in this film?
In probably 16, 17 years when I was doing this film. It's no longer 1937. And we absolutely...
Here it is. This is the bit that Gal Gadot is guilty of as well.
Wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that...
And that is the problem with dated movies. When you have a movie that takes place in a contemporary setting that is not up to date, bringing that modern edge is not your smartest storytelling choice.
That her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
Not to mention they are spoiling the hell out of this movie.
True. Reality is that the cartoon was made 85 years ago. It's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power and what...
It's called a traditional sense of romance. Believe it or not, some women, and I'm not speaking for all women, but I do know women who are seeking a romantic relationship with people, and they also have a very independent lifestyle. I mean, why can't you balance both? Why do you have to constantly knock the romantic edge to relationships? I mean, this is pure misandry, folks.
What a woman is fit for in the world. And so when we came to reimagining the actual role, Snow White has to learn a lot of lessons about coming into her own power before she can come into power over a kingdom.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's the proactive one, and she's the one who set the terms, is what makes it so relevant to where we are today.
Really, because if you actually look back through history, some of the bloodiest wars in world history were fought when women were in power, because they are more emotional. That's not me being an asshole. That's not me being a misogynist. That is me pointing out a straight up fact. Women who have been in power throughout history have have been the most violent. Caused wars where thousands and possibly even up to millions, have died. Wars are ugly, and women in power make them uglier. That's just a fact, folks. Look, read history books. So yes, Gal Gadot is right there reinforcing Rachel Zegler and her straight up disrespect for an iconic movie that, yes, may have been done 80 odd years ago. But it was also a very iconic film that did a lot for the advancement of women. Where women can be independent, strong, powerful. But yes, they are also vulnerable. To have a woman who is not vulnerable in any shape, way, or form in a film is boring. To have any character of that matter who is not vulnerable is boring. That is why Superman has emotions. That is why he is vulnerable to kryptonite. That is why he can be hurt, harmed, and even tortured emotionally. Otherwise, you just have a god as a character, and, well, that's boring. To do this version of Snow White that they are talking about is not something that I would ever want to take my kids to, because that is not something that I would want my kids growing up seeing and saying that is the pinnacle of female development. No. That is teaching a woman to be hateful towards men, to reject a traditional romance. There is nothing wrong with a romantic story. Tell me, what is wrong with a romantic story between a man and a woman, and why can't a woman still be powerful in that same story? As well as the man can be powerful. Men and women need each other. They balance each other out. They create a very stable environment for any child that they have. You have the man to teach them the harder rigors of life. You have the woman to give off the wisdom and display the compassion that they also need in life to balance them out. Otherwise, you have too much of one or the other, and, well, you get a very unbalanced individual. But yes, Gal Gadot is just as much to blame for the stuff, or for this film being turned on. I mean, I'm sorry, but Gal Gadot is also saying, it's like, she's not going to be saved by the prince. Women don't need a man to save them. Sometimes women do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Gal Gadot, as much as I thought she is a great Wonder Woman, as much as I think she is a great actress, she is showing that she is willing to toe the line when she actually rebuffed Ezra Miller's say fuck the patriarchy thing, and she's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Now she's given right into it and basically spreading the lies of a patriarchal society that is ruining the world. We gave women a shot throughout history. They proved they couldn't handle it either. Humanity is flawed. But for these people to promote an even more regressive way of storytelling and a more regressive way of telling a female story, saying that women don't need no men, women are more empowered by themselves. That is not a good story. Women need men, men need women. And it's because of this misandry that is so prevalent today that has been promoted by both Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot. I'm sorry. That is a very destructive thing that is happening to our society. It's because of them, because of others who are pushing the whole feminist, or feminazi really, a feminazi narrative. We don't need no man. Actually, well, fine. But don't complain about men not going to see your movie. Don't complain about men not giving you attention. If you feel that men are unnecessary, then you should not complain when men ignore you. And also, you will have women ignore you as well. I mean, believe it or not, there are women who do want to go and see a romantic story. I know several. In fact, I believe Tugs, that Tug Life here, puts it pretty much, or she's not single-handed, or while she's saying that Rachel Zegler is single-handedly destroying this movie, it isn't just Rachel. You have Gal Gadot here as well doing the same thing. She's not going to be saved by the prince. Women need to be more relevant in today's society, and it's like, this fucking movie doesn't take place in today's society. So why the hell are you changing it? But yeah, I wouldn't just blame Rachel Zegler here. Yeah, Tugs is a great person too, but the take here is ignoring the fact that there's another person who is also doing damage to this film, and her name is Gal Gadot. People are so in love with Gal Gadot because of her most recent film, and also because of how good she was as Wonder Woman. I'm sorry, that doesn't excuse what she is saying in these video clips. Gal Gadot is just as much to blame for the disinterest of Snow White, or rather Snow Brown, because that is not skin that is white as snow. I am sorry to point out an inconvenient fact that is in no way, shape, or form racist. It's just pointing out a fact. Snow White was described as skin as white as snow, hence her name, Snow White. But yeah, they're both contributing to the destruction of interest in this film. And I will not support this movie in any shape, way, or form. If I want to watch Snow White, I can always watch the animated classic. Plus, if you want to see Snow White in other roles, you can watch her in the Snow White and the Huntsman. Believe it or not, I thought Kristen Stewart did a good job in those movies as Snow White. It brought a more fierce version of her, but she also still relied on others who were men. And is it me, or is all of these live-action Snow White adaptations have Snow White, who is supposed to be more fairer than the evil queen, yet the evil queen does happen to be physically more attractive than Snow White, or the person they cast? Yeah, Rachel Zegler is not that much of a looker in my opinion. Gal Gadot, however, is very much attractive looking. However, she's not my type. Anyway, folks, that is going to be my video. Yeah, Gal Gadot is just as much to blame. And I think people need to address that as well. Anyway, y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you think that Gal Gadot is also just as much to blame? Or do you think that Rachel Zegler is the sole person to blame? Which, in my opinion, no offense, I mean, different opinions are welcome. It's just very ignorant. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below, folks. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. I'll see you tonight on the Barroom Podcast at Society Reviews channel. Have a wonderful day. Always remember, stay humble.